Next time is next time. Now is now. Perfect Days comes to us from Neon Studios and writer-director Wim Wenders and writer Takuma Takasaki. You can check out their respective IMDb pages for the full list of their work. And if you check out Wim Wenders' page, my goddamn goodness, you're going to see quite the catalog. Films like The State of Things, Submergence, $1 Million Hotel, Paris, Texas, and music videos for certain artists like Willie Nelson. And now we go all the way over to U2, where we walk on, walk on. We're stuck in a moment that we can't get out of. We're in elevation. Woohoo! Every time I think of U2, I always end up thinking of a joke that my best friend Chris, aka the Derminator, once told me. Just saw him recently. I'm glad he's doing very well. Chris, if you happen to be watching this, I'm very, very happy that you're doing well. I'm very happy your family's doing well. And basically, the joke he told me was Bono, the lead singer of U2, for those of you that aren't deep into the U2 lore, I'm not, but I know who the fuck Bono is. He was at a concert in Scotland doing this, and every time I clap my hands, a child in Africa dies, and somebody in the crowd goes, well, stop fucking doing it then! Because Scotland, they have no chill, and I love them for that. That was a terrible Scottish impression. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry to anybody that is watching that knows Scottish people or is Scottish. I am very, very sorry. But yes, Willie Nelson, U2, that's quite the, range there. But then we also have Talking Heads, same as it ever was. As the days go by, we get back to Perfect Days, which, yes, Neon Studios brought this film to the film circuit. It's gotten a whole lot of praise, and it finally got a wider release, even though it got quite a bit of praise in film festival circuits, limited release late last year. They're just finally releasing it more, full blast in more theaters. I drove after a 9-hour shift after being up since midnight, basically. And after watching a WWE event, I decided to, after working 9 hours, fuck it. I'm going to drive another 20 to 25 miles, and I'm going to go watch this movie. And basically, it centers around Hirayama, who is a man cleaning toilets and cleaning up bathrooms, public restrooms for Tokyo Toilet. And he's very content with his job because he's very good. He has his own supplies. He has his own regiment. And Hirayama is played by Koji Yakusho, not to be confused with Yu Yu Hakusho. Bet you didn't expect that reference, did you? And, he goes to sleep, as we all do, unless we're insomniacs and we just go absolutely batshit insane eventually because our brains need sleep. He wakes up. He has his jumpsuit for the company. He has plants that he takes care of, just spraying water on them. He has stuff laid out on a particular, banister, like his wallet, his keys, a cell phone, some change, so he can get stuff out of a vending machine right outside his apartment. The same coffee can. I think it's called Boss, I think is what it was. I think I gleamed the brand a couple times. I assume that's a coffee brand in Japan. I have no idea. I've never been to Japan. I probably never will be. But yes, Hirayama goes around cleaning toilets and is really, really good at what he does. And then he'll take his lunch break and he'll sit in the park. He'll take pictures of trees. He'll see some of the same people. He, interacts with certain people when he's off duty. And, at like a certain restaurant, outdoor restaurant, I assume he also, he frequents certain places and knows certain people. And even though Hirayama doesn't say much for a while, it's especially hard to get a full conversation out of the guy because he kind of keeps to himself. He's not a dick, he just kind of keeps to himself. And also, he makes the time go by listening to a bunch of cassette tapes full of music from the 70s and 80s. They start off with House of the Rising Sun by The Animals, and that's when I knew that somebody in this movie that did the soundtrack had really good taste. Great goddamn soundtrack. Check out the listing of songs. It's just too many to go through. But then, we don't know much about the guy, and then certain things get revealed, and even by the end, we still don't know that much about him. But we see that he is a man that is content in what he's doing. Maybe because he's running from something in his past. Maybe because he just wanted to do his own thing. And it's not that he hates his family or hates anybody in particular, but he just wants to do his own thing. He does kind of work with a bit of a... he kind of works with a bit of a flighty guy. Takashi. Again, I apologize for mispronouncing any of these names. Tokyo Emoto. That's Tokyo with an I, not with a Y. And we just see him dream, read books. I always forget that in Japan they read it, right to left. It's just, since I didn't grow up in Japan, obviously I know, a bit shocking to hear that, bit shocking. Blew your mind right there. I always forget that they do that, but that's how they read books, and he's very learned, and he has a great collection of tapes. And then certain people get into his life gradually, like his fellow employee, who's kind of his understudy, and he wants to impress a girl named Aya, and from there, we just find out that, these people that interact with him, what do they actually mean? Are they just people that are living their own lives? Do they have an interconnection with him? What's really going on? But really, it is just about Hirayama living out his days and just finding the beauty in everything, even if certain things start to unravel eventually. And just going to say, right now, since far enough in, Perfect Days is fucking excellent, and you absolutely need to go out and watch this, because Koji Yakusho is tremendous. Absolutely tremendous. He conveys so much emotion with just his face and facial expressions in general, and just the pain, the joy, the sadness, the elation, however you want to go. Those kind of are the same variations of those emotions. But the whole point, he is really, really good here. And it lets you decide, where the story is going to go. I mean, because you're not sure... is it going to really turn violent? What the hell is going to go on here? Is there going to be some of the other shoe to drop? What's going to happen? It's just a guy living his life and just doing what he wants to do and everything. And we find out a few details, but we don't find out too much. Enough's left out in the open, or enough's left shrouded in mystery, that we appreciate what Hirayama does. And we can tell that there, was some pain and some heartache in his life. And that's why he's happily doing what he's doing. And it's just great. It's fucking superb. It's a movie you absolutely need to go watch in theaters. It is 100% good. I watched this on basically no sleep. I've been up for close to 24 hours as of this particular review, but I just had to review it before I decided to eventually crash and then go to work the next morning. But the thing is, it's about finding the beauty and the joy in certain things and understanding that there are people going through stuff as well. And sometimes you could be a good ear, just a shoulder to cry on whatever it is. But Koji just does so great here as Hirayama. He is so good. And other characters do as well. There's, certain family members and stuff that come on a little bit later. And certain people he interacts with, where it's just a beautifully told story. A lush cinematography. Just, never thought that clean toilets would look so cinematic. But it does. And it's really good. Encourage you guys to check out Perfect Days, because it is pretty much close to a perfect movie. It really is. It's great. I'm going to get into spoilers. There isn't much to spoil, but I'm going to do it anyway. 3, 2, 1, it's in theater spoilers. There you go. His niece comes into his life a little bit later. He hadn't seen his niece in a while, and this actually was about an hour into the whole thing. She kind of, opens up a little bit more about him, and he has a tense relationship with his sister, so to speak, and he hasn't had the best relationship with his father, who apparently is not doing all that well health-wise and everything. He's in a nursing home. And also, during his time working and, cleaning these public toilets, he will see a homeless guy that talks to himself, does this. And I'm not knocking. That's how the character's conveyed. And he maybe sees a mirror image of what his dad could possibly be going through. That's why he doesn't want to confront that. I'm just guessing here, because a lot of it isn't really told through dialogue. His understudy kind of grifts him out of some money. He wants to impress this girl, Aya, or Aya, however you say it. She looked like a pop star, actually. No, I'm serious. She actually did. And that didn't work out all that well. It's really just about Hirayama, and it's about the people in the periphery. There is this one girl, or a young woman, that's in the park as well, eating, and she almost kind of mirrors him with her somber expression, just not deadpan is what it is. He at least tries to smile and see the beauty and stuff, but you have to wonder if he's just hiding some sadness with that. And he has a lot of books, the music, very well, crafted scenes of driving. And there is an ending with this that just sticks with me, with the camera just on him as he's listening to a song. And I kind of recognized it, but I would have to go back and watch it at some point. But the lyrics just fit so well. And it was just so beautifully told that you could just see that after all this stuff that had happened, seeing his niece, seeing the stuff, the understudy, and another person having to come in because he felt his life being stressed, having to work extra shifts to clean all these toilets. And apparently, everybody uses, and somehow he is able to really do, a lot of good. He's able to really clean well. And I don't understand how they managed to get away with the rating they did, considering there's some nudity. I don't really give a shit. Like, it's none of my business how studios rate things, but I was a bit surprised by the rating, given the fact that it's not gratuitous, but it's a little surprising. And the thing is, there's also this side thing about this woman that owns this noodle shop, this restaurant. She's going through some stuff. Her ex-husband actually ends up talking to Hirayama when Hirayama decides, he's just going to get a few beers and just drink and everything, under this bridge before going back home. And the guy confesses he's the ex-husband. He had divorced her, but he remarried. But now, a number of years later, he was stricken with cancer. Fuck cancer, just want to say. And that kind of almost gave Hirayama a bit of reflection. He was playing shadow tag with the guy. It was a little bit weird. The movie has a few points where it jumps around a bit, but it also tells a just great gradual story of this guy who has his own system that kind of gets tested, but it's just beautifully told. And Koji Yakusho is tremendous, absolutely tremendous. And the music choices are great. Like I said, lush cinematography. This movie is great. This movie's fucking great. A+. It gets 100% grade A. It gets a fantastic grade for me. It gets a fantastic amount of praise from me. I fucking loved it. Perfect Days will be on my favorite films of the year list because technically it came out in wide release this year, so that's how I'm fucking doing that. Taste of Things and other things came out on the film circuit last year, and I didn't get a chance to see those. So yeah, Perfect Days, pretty close to a perfect movie. It's just great. Really great. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Like, share, subscribe, Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Rentlin. I'll see you soon.